Hello Pisces, this is your reading for April 2025. I'm using the Celtic Spirit Oracle deck. Sorry, my cats have been acting up for some of these videos, well today anyway, and yeah, so hopefully everything will go okay. Right, my readings are a bit different. I get psychic impressions from the pictures, and I also hear from spirit. So yeah, this might be a little bit strange if you're not used to that. So the first card we have here is Shaman Spiral, Awareness, Practice, Connection. It just feels like your energy. Feels like you've done a lot of spiritual work. So I'm getting that that's something you should rely on for the month of April. Probably beyond that, if you haven't already been relying on it. And if it's something you put aside, it's time to pick it back up and get more involved in it. You know, the individuals holding their staff and touching the sacred rock with the spirals. It's time to get back into whatever your spirituality is for you. And focus on that. Try to focus on your spirituality. To be honest, that's come through for a lot of the readings this month, is for everybody to start going inward and start looking at your spirituality, not necessarily a religion, but your internal spiritual self. Look at your spirituality, because if you're expecting it from an outside source, that's not going to work. That's going to backfire and cause you a lot of pain. So you have to look inward, which you are probably already aware of. Pisces does tend to be rather spiritual. So yeah, focus on that. If you haven't found your calling yet, then definitely look into it and find what you're looking for. Try to focus on what seems to suit you, where you feel you fit in, and look into that. If there's something that's always sort of nagged you that, oh, I need to find out more about this study of spirituality, whatever, yeah, look into it. Now's the time to do that. Now's the time to go inward, to go spiritual. If you have a practice, then do your best to do it daily. Really try to work on that. Sorry, cats are making noise. Yeah, just almost every reading, there's a big thing of look inward and turn to your spirituality at this time. It's going to help us get through. So the next card we have is She of the Woods, Peace, Connection, and Home. Yeah, I mean, like, her eyes are closed in this diagram. So again, it's that inward vision. Trust yourself, trust your gut. If you have like a meditation practice, whatever you're doing, but make sure it's a spiritual thing, then focus on that. Look inward, trust yourself, trust, if it's feeling like you're making progress, if you feel like you're advancing spiritually, then you're on the right path. If you feel like you're stagnating, that can happen sometimes, but if you feel like you're stagnating, then research, find more information on the path that you've chosen, see if there's more you can learn, If you're following a spiritual teacher and you stagnated and they have nothing left to teach you, then find another teacher, find a new teacher. But just there's a huge focus on finding that inward peace, contentment, finding the right spiritual path for you, and following that and relying on that right now. It's so important to 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 work on that. Work on healing yourself, compassion for others, and wisdom of the true nature of reality. Work on these things because it's super important to have this knowledge, especially now during these times. Okay, Spirit's telling me to move to the next card. So we have Celestial, Cosmos, Creation, and Spiral. Okay, so Spirit's telling me that there's a lot of creation myths out there. Just about every group of people has their own creation myths. I'm waiting for more information. That doesn't really tell me much. Yeah, there's a lot of creation myths out there. Okay, so sorry, Spirit just said commonality. So look for the common threads in those creation stories, and see what's out there, and if it's close to what your beliefs are, or um, what you were raised with. Take that commonality to realize like we're really not that different. I mean, the ancient peoples have their own creation stories, so it would be a good idea to look into those and see, how different is it from the creation story that I was raised with, or that the people, the group of people I'm with, their creation story. Like, so compare notes and find the similarities, right? Find the commonality to realize, like every living being, even insects, we all just want to be happy. We're all looking for happiness. But we all sort of have different ideas of how to get happy. And so if group A has this one idea and group B has this other idea, well, those ideas might clash. So what group A thinks is going to make them happy is might harm group B. And what group B thinks is going to make them happy might harm group A. And that's where you get the problems, right? I mean, just to super simplify, if you're hungry, you think you need to eat to be, in order to fulfill that hungerness, and that'll make you happy once you get some food to eat. And so if you're an animal, well, most of the time that means killing another animal to eat it so that you'll be fed and happy because you'll have a full belly. I'm just super simplifying it, but that's what happens. And we need to look at that system and go, okay, so everyone's sort of the same. We're all looking for the same ideals, the same ideas. We all want to be happy. We none of us want to suffer. But sadly, some people think making others suffer will bring happiness to themselves, and the opposite is true. But they don't know that. So it's good to gain that wisdom and understanding that everyone's trying to be happy, in their own way, but a lot of people are coming from a place of ignorance and they don't know what actually makes them happy. A lot of people think that they're going to find happiness out there in the world somewhere, and that's impossible. So, because there's absolutely nothing out there that can make you happy. Happiness is a choice. It's an emotion you feel inside. And so you choose whether or not to be happy no matter what's going on around you. And I know there are times when that can be extremely difficult to be happy when horrible things are happening. And it may even sound like it's ridiculous to try to be happy when that's going on. But if you can look at it that whatever is causing the horrible things to happen, if it's people or animals, maybe they're just trying to be happy and they're causing all this negative stuff to happen. It's karma, right? So if we can learn that there's nothing out there in the world that's going to make us happy, then we can have compassion for the people that are still stuck with the mentality that I need to be famous, or I need to have power over others, or I need to be super rich in order to be happy. Because are they? No. There's a few people we could look at right now in history and go, or in society around us in the world, these people are miserable, and they have those things and they're freaking miserable, and they're making everybody else around them miserable, because that's not where you find happiness. So we can have compassion for them because they're living in ignorance. They don't know any better. And so we need to make the time, gain the wisdom, and see on the cosmos, see on the grander picture, the grander scale, the commonality with everybody, and that helps to increase our wisdom. That helps to increase our knowledge, helps us to ascend spiritually. It gives us that deeper understanding of why and how things are the way they are in the world. It helps us to step back from things and see the bigger picture. So yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on gaining the spiritual wisdom, right? Go within, gain that spiritual wisdom, and keep working on that. Okay, Spirit said to move on to the next card. So we have here is the herbalist, herbs, medicine, healing. So if you know plant medicine, that's fantastic. Stock up. Spring is coming. Hopefully at some point where I am today there's a snowstorm. But where you are, hopefully it's warmer and nicer. But now's the time to get out there and start collecting the herbs and plants and medicines, natural medicines you need, and stockpile. Start making these things. If they can be stored, if it's something that you need to use right away, well then you wouldn't be able to. If it's gonna expire quickly, you can't really stockpile that. But if there's things that will last a while, then make yourself like a little storage of these things. If you don't know plant medicine, that's something you might want to look into. It might be a good idea, even if it's just supplementing the other medicines that you use, and be careful that there's not going to be any danger. For instance, if anyone's taking an antidepressant, if they were to take St. John's wort, which helps with depression, that can actually have a negative reaction with the pharmaceutical medications they're taking. So be extremely careful and cautious with that type of thing. But Yeah, it's a good idea to learn the plant medicine. Like that's coming through for you is to learn as much as you can, get as much as you can, keep it stored properly so that it can be used if needed. It's good to have that on hand for if it's going to be needed. Which I'm probably just repeating myself now. Sorry. It sounds like I'm repeating myself. Okay, I'm not getting anything from Spirit, so I guess that's the end of the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped.